Welcome, Internet of the World, to another hyper tier race in our wonderful championship season. We're at round 4. We've had a bit of a break off to celebrate the holidays, and I hope, no matter what you celebrated over the holiday period, you had an absolute blast on behalf of the whole of the HTR family. But it's time to get back to racing, even though, in my opinion, it should be a day off, because obviously, fun fact, today is supposed to be the New Year's Reserve Day, which is basically a holiday allowing people to recover from the festivities of New Year's Day. And yes, welcome to 2022. Hopefully, we'll be able to stream many more races with you all live from 7 PM approximately across British Standard Time for both Tier 1 and 2. But before we get into today's race, it is time for your little track walk of Azerbaijani circuit in the HTR machine. Flat out DRS on this very long start-finish straight. You want to brake, well, we decided to brake around the 100 meter board. I would say, if you can see this little golden, well, mainly black and grey, but a bit of golden lamppost, that is going to be your first braking point. Brake down to about third gear, 85 miles an hour, and roll it, and you can mount the curb, but it will give you a horrible bit of oversteer. Actually no, understeer, sorry, and you can go very wide, which could give you damage in the race, because as we know, Baku's walls are very, very, very close. Anyway, then it's foot to the floor again before we brake again at the... Actually, we brake at this sign here, this no entry sign, is where we start to brake and roll the car into a bit more of a higher raised curb, so just be extra mindful of that one even more. You can use the one on the right and then press your Y or triangle buttons for DRS, the drag reduction systems, as the rear wing flap opens. Long charge down, 8th gear, 180 odd miles an hour. We want to brake at about the 100 meter board on your right hand side there. Brake nice and firmly down into 3rd gear, turn nice and tightly. You can hump this curve in particular and you, well, get a bit of oversteer as you see, and we had to do a little bit of saving of the car. As for this one, use this lovely tree on your left hand side, which I think we all should be planting a few more trees in my opinion around the world, in an idealistic sense obviously. As your marker, brake down into 3rd gear, roll the car through. Again, do not touch that curb because it's really raised. Over the exit once you can. Charge over to the right hand side at about 150 miles an hour and brake. You will see this tree, this one here. Excellent braking points. So, we went the wrong way there. Brake at that board, shimmy the car over to the left. It's a flat curb, so you can easily use that one. But stay to the left-hand side, because you do not want to touch this curb on the right, because it is a very mounted curb. Then, foot to the floor now. Going up into 6th gear, maybe even 7th if you're feeling brave. But where to brake? Well, we started to brake at around this section of the course. There's not really many braking point references, but for beginners, we would recommend the 100 meter board. Then you roll over to this curb. Again, do not cut it too much. If you do, your lap will be invalidated or you will get a track extension warning. Into 2nd gear now, the very tight castle section. Will we get it right on this run? Let's find out. We're going to brake down now at the 50 meter board. Brake. You can hump this first curb and the one on the outside, very easily, and shimmy over to the left so you can swing to the right hand side here to that Pirelli curb. Another left hander then in 2nd gear, then foot to the floor as we're now going to go into 8th gear. You want to stay away from the Pirelli sign on the right and move over to the left one before coming back to the flag meter board and back in to the inside, and then before coming back to the out. When to brake? Well, we use this 100 meter board, which you can see on your left and the right of your screens, before braking down now into 2nd gear. Then roll the car through flat to the floor now, up to 7th. When to brake? We would say just after the 100 meter board, or if you want to be very tentative, where these two fellows are having a chat. I wonder if they're chatting about maybe ringing the bell on both Hypertier Racing and Fadoodle version 2 and giving us the heart on our Twitch stream. Just a theory, but I think that's what they're chatting about. brake down into third gear. Again, don't really want to touch this inside curb, but the outside one is a flat one, so it's okay. And then, yeah, just very gentle with the steering inputs. The best trick with these corners is to stay as wide as possible to give yourself the maximum amount of turning radius and turn very lightly. It's a very deceptive corners set, these three, but steer as little as possible to reduce the amount of speed you'll need to take off. And if you've done it all correctly, you'll be able to go flat out. Then you'll just turn a little bit to the right here, and that is an entire lap of the Baku city circuit, located in the beautiful Azerbaijan capital. I mean, yeah, the country's human rights are not ideal, but that is a lap of the circuit, and I think we need to get a nice photo, as we always do in this segment. Let us grab a very nice picture here, utilising the HTR liveried machine, the number 61 of Fedora version 2. We're going to increase that shutter speed, of course, to an insanely fast amount. And I think, what filter should we go with? Stream chat, it's time for you to get involved. If you're watching this live on Twitch, you can decide the colour gradient. If any of you are expert in the F1 2021 games photography, or even since 2017, please let us know what mode you would like to see for this wonderful picture. There we are. We've had our comments. 0.7 on the saturation front, and that is what we'll run with. So we'll enhance that image to go with this wonderful theme. Thank you so much, JL Footballer, and a yes, Tom. Interesting to see you've changed your name once again for this episode. And thank you both for joining, and thank you to all 6 of you combined who are here on the stream. There you are. That is your thumbnail. And now, with that said, it is time to join the main lobby. So we will just casually hop into the game to see what kind of madness and intrigue will be unfolding. There could be a lot of stops this race, and not just from a strategical perspective, but from the amount of safety cars that could be triggered. As we saw on the demonstration run, it is race night indeed, Tom. As you know, 7 PM British time is when we always go racing, so just bear that in mind wherever you live in the world. Whenever the British time zone is a 7 PM, we go racing on Mondays for our elite drivers in Tier 1, and on Tuesdays for Tier 2 drivers everywhere. With that said, we're just going to try and connect to their game, so we can actually get the broadcast, and then we will be good to go. How are you all doing, everybody in the Twitch chat, all 9 of you? How are you all doing? Right. That is perfect. Okay. Not too bad. Restart your game. Yes, we may have to restart it. I'm just going to try and see if we can get off someone else first before restarting. Good. I'm glad to see you're not too bad. Yes, it looks like we may have to go through a restart procedure, so just bear with us here. The stream You are. There we are. Is it back? Is it back, chat? Oh, goodness me. Goodness me, son. What are we like, eh? What are we like? But anyway, Positive and Thallow in the Mercedes. Brief and Cow in the Red Bull. Andrea and Franek in the McLaren. Kyrengis and Kevin Arlett in the Aston Martin. Hurricane and Basketball Dan in the Alpine. Alma King is in the Ferrari. Tundra is in the AlphaTauri. Matthew is in the Alfa Romeo. Gabo and Kingsley Garlic in the Haas. And Creations and Pepsi in the Williams. But we got there eventually. Stream chat, all 11 of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. You might want to sit down, get comfortable, because it's going to be a very long but fun stream. In terms of the standings, we've got TTM Tundra on top with an incredible 101 points, but it is a very close title fight, as Positive is only 4 points behind with 97. Matthew, 7034. After a unlucky Portimao is on 96 points. Then it is a good old scrap for 4th place between Jerka and Kyrengis, who share identical points, incredibly, with Thallow, Franek and Kevin not too far off, with Alma Kinga in 9th, Sam in 10th and Pepsi 11th, with Andrea completing your top 12. In terms of the Tier 1 teams standings, or constructors, as it's more commonly known, we are leading AlphaTauri. With Aston Martin doing a very respectable job there, with 134 points. Then it is the McLaren team on 117, with Alfa Romeo on 113 points. Which, by the way, admins, you've actually picked the wrong AlphaTauri picture. Just thought you might want to double check the picture before you carry on. But just to confirm, our usual Alfa Romeo regular, Druid 9726, will be driving this evening in the Alfa Romeo. We're just... Oh, there we are. We've got ETE Harvey. Always changing up their league name. But Harvey is in the Ferrari this evening, as usual. Then we have the Williams on 80 points in Tier 1, Ferrari with 59, Haas 57, Alpine 42, and Red Bull with 30 in last. In terms of the overall combined standings, if we just go and find them, in just a moment, we will eventually get to the stage where we know where they are. We can see AlphaTauri are on top, but it's not a party for us yet. No. Williams are only 11 points behind us, with Mercedes in 3rd, Aston Martin 4th, very close between those two. Then Ferrari in 5th, McLaren 6th, Alfa Romeo 7th, Haas 8th, Red Bull 9th, and Alpine 10th, with both Red Bull and Alpine sharing the same amount of points overall. So those are your lineups for this evening. However, this should be a very fun race. I cannot wait to see what happens indeed in this one. But alas, it has been... should be a good one. So let's read some of your answers. Hey, Positive, thank you so much for coming to the stream. No traction control for a full race this time around. Good luck, Positive. I salute you very much, dear good sir. I can tell you now, as somebody who only plays with the racing line on 2D corners only, with removing the green, yes, it is a challenge, so good luck. How many DNFs on lap 1? Oh, footballer, good question. I'm going to say lap 1. We are talking about Tier 1, our most premium races that we have, so I would say 2 or 3? 2.5. I think that's... I know you can't literally have one, like half a car, but as in 2 or 3, so... Can get. Listen, I talk with my own dialect, Positive, as I'm sure you are very much aware. My English is certainly of a unique breed. Yeah, exactly. Well, exactly. Yeah, like a car's going to get sliced by some kind of lightsaber or something. Or some kind of heat separation device. However, let us get all the necessary graphical stuff on. We do not need this one on. And let's see, as we're getting, I think a Williams is about to leave the pit lane first of the bunch. I will check to see which one it is. But it is Pepsi on the medium tyres, so interestingly, to see a lot of drivers starting their first runs on the mediums. If we check the tyre graphic, most is going to do softs though, as it stands, but there may be the odd driver running the medium tyres. Pepsi has done pretty well this season. I think they can be relatively, impressed with themselves in the Williams car. Having to adjust from a Haas to a Williams is a big leap. They've got very, very, very different character philosophies and characteristics. However, as it stands, they are currently sitting in 11th, and maybe with a good race today, could leap up as far as 8th. So I think that is what pretty badly. Basketball Dan, sadly is a little lower in 15th, but I'm sure the Alpine team principal will need to hoist themselves up if they can in order to get, roughly speaking here, into Alpine into 9th in constructors. Their aim will be Red Bull. Andrea, one of those what-if stories so far. They put themselves in the right places. They've had a few too many spins. Hopefully, with Baku, it'll be a chance for them to turn a new leaf and show us with the incredible straight-line speed of that McLaren what they can really do. Hurricane doing a very solid season. 13th, not bad. I think they could be satisfied. I think they can do a bit more, but it's a long season ahead. The point system certainly has changed the outlook of the championship. So let us get rocking and rolling then for qualifying. So Pepsi is the first on a run, so not bad. So well, we don't really know how good each lap is going to be as of this stage due to the whoa, that was a bit of a slide there from Pepsi. That was a very big slide, as the Aston Martin is going to get out of the way of Andrea, which is a good choice. But a bit of a slide there on the mediums. Clearly that gamble is not quite working out, and thus the Italian stallion of HTR, Andrea, will be on board. Fun fact, for any of you who are involved in the HTR community or who are part of the stream chat, you are more than welcome to join our Hyper Tier Racing Lounge, a place where we play Among Us and Monopoly in the times when we're not racing, but they are not streamed. They are definitely of a wild kind of fun events, though, nonetheless. And also remember, before you comment anything, remember to spread the Formula love and not Formula hate. But an excellent section through the castle by Andrea there. An excellent passage. Oh, look how beautiful that was. I'm sorry, I'm just really impressed, but they have cut a corner, it seems. And Druid's retired already! Ah, heartache from the Alfa Romeo team, as one of their drivers is already retired, and they haven't even been able to complete a flying lap yet, sadly for them. But with Andrea's lap being invalidated and Pepsi getting a bit of a wobble on, we will move over to DRL Creations as Pepsi set to 41.7. Okay, that's an okay lap on the mediums. Not bad, not bad. And we will not know the time of Andrea, who obviously cut the corner as the Xbox Live decides to just go right as qualifying starts. Wonderful! Just as we get the first few laps in, the computer and the internet's like, nah, do you know what? I just don't want to work. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I don't want to work. Like, no, just don't even try and think about working properly. So that's fun. Actually, if we turned off this thing... Oh, there has been an error code. So, apologies. about this, so just bear that one in mind. Apologies for these technical difficulties. Why do I have a feeling that is a sign of the race to come? I think when we get going, we are going to have a lot of carnage, it seems, if these technical difficulties in qualifying are anything to go by. We just need to wait for 2 more drivers. I think Basketball down to come back, essentially, so we will try and see if we can get them in. And Pepsi as well, but they've arrived. As a couple are getting ready to rock and roll throughout this race. Yay! It's working! Well, yes, Tom, I don't know what happens now, but it seems to be a version 1.14 problem where if you load in after needing to go to the Xbox menu for whatever your reason, it does not work. So, fun. That's very true, Tom. This game is quite glitched indeed. I mean, don't get me wrong. It is certainly not as bad as games like F1 2015. And Codemasters have done an excellent job at elevating this game to mainstream popularity. I would agree with you there, but well, it's like they're chasing for performance at the cost of reliability. I mean, I would play F1 2019, for example, and never encounter a single bug or glitch, whereas say nowadays it seems to be getting more and more as they're getting more and more ambitious. But yes, we'll be ready to rock and roll in a short matter of time as the Azerbaijan Grand Prix qualifying for Hyper Tier Racing Tier 1 is about to get underway. Also, how many of you appreciate our new logo? Yes, it has been in the Discord server for approximately since the start of Season 3, but now we have got the brand new logo officially embedded on our Twitch page, and I think it is a massive improvement over the old one. I mean, don't get me wrong, the old one was perfectly serviceable, but I think the more professional you get, the better the logo has to be. No problem, Tom. We'll see you in 10 minutes, approximately, of course. Thank you to all 12 of you. Apologies in advance. I was trying to say apologise and apologies at the same time. What up? For the delayed restart. However, sadly, the qualifying was very glitched, and we had to make a new lobby. So, for Druid, who did crash out, they will be absolutely counting their lucky stars. However, I have to ask, how are your New Year's? All of you, I'm just very curious. Did you enjoy your wonderful holidays? If you're in the YouTube videos of either one, please comment below, how did you enjoy your New Year's of 2022? This will age very oldly, because by the time we actually get around to publishing the highlights package of this, it'll be quite a long time. Trust me, when you're a one-man band, it takes a lot of effort to do these things, especially when it's not your only priority in life. So, fun fact for Doodle Fact of the Week, if you're going to do a YouTube channel, please make sure you have lots of time to spare. Otherwise, or that you have planned out a bunch of content in advance. Otherwise, in the beginning, it's going to be a little bit difficult to consistently maintain your schedule. So with that said, the drivers are going out for their qualifying run, and this should be a very exciting one indeed, with the Mercedes of Thallo now being the first car out on the circuit. Actually no, it is not, I tell a lie, it is actually, if we find the right dot, Pepski, once again, starting in first. There's a few people having connection issues, sadly. However, it is all good. As we look at the tyre strategies for qualifying, Druid's on the soft, so I wonder if Pepski will want to release Druid or just be really annoying to the Alfa Romeo driver and say no, we are not going to do such a thing. Let us find out, shall we, as we're going to now boost as Thallo has retired! Oh, in the castle section, I wonder if there was a crash, as we can see coming up through. Oh, he's caused the car park! Oh dear, yeah, I hate to see it. And Thallo will be starting last out of the qualified runners in this Azerbaijan Grand Prix. The Tier 1 driver, who has done a very good job this season, will be absolutely kicking themselves over that costly mistake. And now Pepski and Druid are the first two drivers to start their qualifying runs. Let us see how they do. So, whilst Thallo does hold provisional pole, I have a feeling that's not going to last for very long, sadly. But we'll jump on board the Alfa Romeo, as obviously he wants to keep distance from the Williams car, which makes sense if you're on the soft tyres. Interestingly, they've only got one. Actually, no, they have multiple axles, so they could do about maybe another one if they really had to want to. As for Pepski, no, I think this is the only one actually. If you look very closely, yeah. Oh no, they could do another one as well if they wanted to. But again, Baku requires a lot of fuel because you're going flat out a lot of the time. However, they're going to roll the car nicely through there in second gear, the best gear to take it. You could take it in first if you wanted to get maximum exit speed, but around here I do not see why you'd want to do that. But there's another Alfa Romeo of Matthew on their outslap. Will this impede, Pepski and help out his teammate? We will find out, as those mediums are going to struggle a bit, but this could be Pepski's warm-up lap perhaps. Maybe it's a chance just to shake off the cobwebs, set a banker lap in, don't do anything stupid or reckless, but Matthew does not cause a teammate issue and may get into the slipstream of Druid, so that could be very interesting indeed. However, now here comes Pepski to the line. He's on the medium tyres, and Druid has had the slipstream throughout this run, so pole position may change. There's a yellow flag, sadly. I think it's just some cars letting others through, but Pepski will go to provisional pole position with a time of 1 minute 40.8, but Druid has gone even faster with a 40.1. Right, who is the next around the track? It's an Alpine, I believe, and it is going to be Hurricane. So we set a 1:14.7 through sector 2. That's not a bad time, but can it get closer to that 1:40.1? We're looking really for those 1:39s now. Hurricane has already done that with a 39.4. Excellent pace there from the Alpine driver. We'll see what their teammates can do. Basketball down only with a 45. Jeepers creepers. Kevin Annihilator with a 40.6. So not bad time there from the Aston Martin. Next up is a Red Bull of Briefing Cow, who is a little bit slower than Hurricane through sector 1 and 2, but we'll see what happens now. They're going to charge to the line in the Drivers' Championship winning car, but Briefing Cow sets a 39.4, but it's only by 0.2 faster, and he is now on provisional pole. We'll see what happens now as there's a McLaren coming around. I believe Andrea, who's gone fastest of all with a 38.6. The times have started to tumble down really quickly now, as we will jump on board with Matthew 7034, the championship as they just take a massive corner cut there. We'll join on board then with that Alpha Tauri, who is on the run in Tundra on the mediums, which is an interesting strat. But Andrea setting the fastest time of them all with a 38.6. I wonder if we can get into the low 1 minute 36s by the end of this session. I am genuinely very curious, excusez-moi, as Tundra, boosting their way. The current championship leader set a 40.0, excellent lap considering on the medium tyres. A nice, solid banker lap. We're going to see Matthew 73 who will be unable to set lap time, but the Alpines giving each other a nice slipstream effect here. This time for basketball, Dan. Could this propel him way much more up the field? Maybe his first lap was a banker. We'll see now. He's got all the tow he needs. And it's still a 43. Not bad. Puts him into 6th, but I think they may be a tiny bit disappointed with that one. Then we get the Haas of Kingly Garlic, who is just about to start their run. Sorry, so it's going to be Yabo, who's just starting their run. But what we're really then looking for is the Aston Martin, who is coming in of Kevin and I. So we've got a Red Bull, who is on a run in Creation. No, the Williams doesn't have a front wing, so Creation's losing their front wing there. That could be very costly in not getting that initial run in. But Stream Chat, Andrea, showing like they always have this season with an incredible qualifying run so far. Fair play, that is a fantastic run of the dice. As Tundra, interestingly, has gone about a 10th faster. At the moment, that would get him a bit closer to Hurricane, but not enough. But then again, they are on the mediums, so I don't think that is a bad outcome, being able to be on the top 10 in mediums, especially if safety cars do end up happening. However, Tundra will be boosting now to the line any second now, with that very, 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 very long back straight. He is. As Tundra sets a 39.2 on the mediums. I'm sure if that was soft tyres, that would be pole, but that could be a very good lap time that I'm sure Tundra will be very happy with going forward. The next car that we have identified as on a qualifying run is Kingly Garlic on the soft tyres. We've seen some interesting pitting. They're one of our new kits, so let's not judge them that hard, please. You know, everyone's got to learn. But a 5th place in the Haas, not a bad shout there by the Garlic. Excellent stuff there with a 39.4. Right, who is next around the track? It is Kirangis, also on the mediums. We'll be looking to get near Tundra's time with a 39.2. But we'll see what happens here. They've gone purple through Sector 2, interestingly. It looks like a Haas is slowing down to let a Mercedes through, but that's okay. Indeed, Andrea is very quick in the McLaren. I was going to say in the Merchant, but I'm sure McLaren are very wealthy, but I don't think they're merchants. Merchants, I should say. However, Kirangis has got the DRS open. Probably ERS is on hot slap mode. I'm sure it'll be on overtake if it could, but it's a 40.5. That will not secure them into the top 10. Come the end of the race, there's just yellow flags as people are letting others through. Right, I think... As Harvey's retired! Oh, what a shame. The Ferrari driver will now be slipping to last, as Thaler will be praying for that mistake, and they'll be thanking the stars, because Thaler's number was higher than Harvey's, therefore Thaler will start ahead of the Ferrari. But now, with that said, we think we've got a Mercedes Alfa Romeo on a run, but it is just the outline. Meanwhile, there's a McLaren on a run, and Franek is not here, sadly, so will not be there. What about the Alpines? I think they're going for a run. This time, Dan is giving the tow to Hurricane, who will jump on board, but now he's getting all the tow he needs. Fair play. Dan being a great boss there, letting his drivers have a nice tow, as he sets an out the time of previously of a 1:39.4. So let's jump on board with the Alpine driver then, to see what they can do. They've had a good start to this season, jumping from McLaren back in Season 2 over to the Alpine this year, so it'll be very interesting to see how they're able to get along. Interestingly, Franek didn't qualify, so if he does join back, we'll have to start plumb last, which is never what you like to see. But if anyone's going to cut through the field, I would say Franek's got a great chance of doing so, especially with how hectic Baku is. That tow has helped Hurricane. He's gained about almost a 10th there. Sorry, 1 times 8 tenths, which is 8 tenths. I nearly said... No, sorry, 800ths. Sorry, life is just fun. We're having a fadoodlism here in the commentary booth, but it's okay. Hurricane is now charging with all their might. They're on the soft tyres, so as it stands with their pace, they could easily steal third from Gabo in the Haas. Fair play. Oh, that camera angle. You don't deny it. You know that is a simply lovely angle. However, brief flooring. No, Pepskeving's gone a bit faster with 39.6. It's good for them to get into the top 10. However, Hurricane is boosting all the way to the line now, but I think they've run out of fuel, and sadly that will be the Mercedes of Positive will be charging through now. Let's see what they can do. They're on a 15.3 in the mediums. Andrea has set the pace with a 38.1, but that is on soft tyres. You've got to bear that in mind. The real goal for Positive is to beat Tundra. Can he do it? Not quite. A 40.0, but to be fair, without tractor control, that is very impressive. So well done to the Tier 2 champion on those mediums. Right, who is close to completing their qualifying lap then? Interestingly, Druid going up by 300ths there, sorry. Just had to get the right measurement out for a second there. Right, there's a bunch of drivers are starting their run. We'll join on board with Matthew, who bottomed their previous run, sadly for them. My prediction for the race win, it's going to be a crazy one, but if Franek can get back in, I have a feeling he's going to do some magical wizardry and do a last to first challenge. I don't know why. I do not know why to stream chat, but let me know in the stream chat below or YouTube comment section with this particular timestamp. What do you think, or who do I think? Who do you think, I should say, is going to be the race winner? As you can tell, it has been a very long day in Fadoodle's office. Thallow a car park? No, they do not. Excellent stuff there, as they're going to roll the car through. Excellent, utilising the full width of the circuit there, which, considering it is so narrow, is a massive achievement. Armakinga, not bad there with a 40.2. Rolling his car through that actually fifth to last corner. Here's the last proper corner. He takes it nice and beautifully. That is exactly correct as to the amount of work that you're having. Hey, hello! Excess Games. Kevin, for the way, thank you so much, dude, for your prediction. Well, do you know what? Nothing's impossible in F1. It ain't over until the checkered flag is waved. But whilst we'll check on board with the Annihilator in just a second, Matthew 7034 rolls to the line. It's a 38.9, a very good run on the soft tyres by the British driver. Solid run here with, Basketball Dan giving Hurricane all the slipstream in the world. That's still improved by a tiny amount. In terms of who is setting a lap time, I think it is going to be jumping on board with Hurricane once again, getting all the media attention. But good on you, Excess Games, and I hope for your sake your prediction comes true. If you get this right, dude, you will be on for a very happy reaction from me at the end of the stream. ASC Top says Spenny will win. One of our rookies in the Red Bull today, Spenny F1, shown some very solid pace and has got a lot of people talking. And I think it'll be a good test for them to see where their ability truly lies in race combat. Hurricane has gone 3,000 slower. There's a yellow flag, but it's just cars letting each other through. Hurricane has now gone ahead of Basketball Dan. We'll see what time the Alpine can now set. They are clear of any form of slipstream, but I think they're going to be coming in. Yep, they are. So Basketball Dan will be also coming in. Okay. Obviously, the two of them are brought in the lap. Kingly Garlic going up by 600ths there throughout the first two sectors. Kevin again. We tell me. Alex F1. Go we tell them. Yes, because these people probably practice a lot on time trial as well as Grand Prix mode with the equal toggle on single player. Kingly Garlic, solid improvement there. Trying to cut their way up through the order, serving up a 5th place lap time of a 39.2. Very respectable there. Their teammate Gabo is about to start a flying lap, so we'll check on their progress in a moment. will join on board with this Spenny driver, which a lot of you have been very excited for. They have set a purple Sector 1 here. This could be a genuinely fast lap time from Spenny Man. So we'll see what he can do in the Red Bull. Doing an excellent use of that corner there. There's a yellow flag, and I think an Aston Martin is just letting another car go through. I don't as at this stage. We'll see what Spenny can now do through the second sector. They are on the soft tyres though, so they're going to have the maximum amount of pace, and it's down to them as to what they can extract. They've set a 13.9 through the second sector. Holy macaroni and cheese balls, this could be a fast time. I've never seen a rookie go on pole position in their first ever race for HTR, as we've got just under 2 minutes to go. He is coming to the line. It's a 38.4! Not quite, but a very good effort there from the hyper tier racing rookie. Despite their previous experience in other leagues. As Andrea gets a bit of a wobble, nearly going into the wall, but it's great stuff on the McLaren for being able to keep it on the track in one piece. Boosting now to the line in an efficient manner. Let's see what they can do. A 13.9 was achieved through Sector 2. Andrea is down by 0.2 off the purple, which is certainly not what they will be wanting to see. Well, Matthew is on the outflank. Gabo doing a good job there with a 38.9. Very impressive stuff there from our Mexican. Awesome stuff like T Druid. A little bit of laggy internet, but going up by 0.3. This could put them into 5th easily there. But they have to back out to there with a bit of dodgy internet. So just be warned. Just be warned. However, Druid is boosting all the way to the line with maximum amount of ERS being drained and DRS turned on. It's going to be a third by up by 0.3, so a 38.8. Going even faster than Matthew. I think that is a very impressive result. Not many of you would have expected, but there is only 16 seconds. Is Matthew going to have enough time to set a run? I'm not sure if he'll have enough fuel to complete the lap. Yes, he does just about get a lap in, as everybody now will be completing their final lap times for this qualifying session in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The Red Bulls into the pits, and that is it now for everybody. They cannot set another time. So, starting off then with Gabo F1, who was 4 seconds off, so they are not going to be able to set a reasonably competitive lap time. Pepski is down by a 10th. So we'll move on to the McLaren of Andrea, who's a whole second off sadly and invalidated their lap. So we will jump to Positive, who has gone up by half a second here. Half a second. This could easily throw the Tier 2 champion into the top 10 of this race, and that could be a solid position you'd want to start for. Certainly in this particular championship. But now there's only just 2 minutes left of this qualifying session. There's a yellow flag, but it's just cars letting other cars through. Matthew is retired, clearly content with their lap time. We'll see what happens now, as there's a bit of a roadblock, but thankfully just enough room to let Positive through. I'm sure they may get a bit suspicious, but overall I do not see any foul play to block the Mercedes. Hello Norton, thank you for coming to the stream. As Positive's gone a second faster and set a 38.8. Right, the times are going to start to come in now. Druid cannot go any faster. What about the Ferrari of Armakinga, who's gone 0.3 faster? Is a 39.8, stays in 4th place for now. A lot of the lower down drivers started just staying where they are, as they are. Jerker with a 13.97 in 17th. But that is seeming to be it, as Andreas in the pit lane. And I cannot see anybody else on a fast run. Which means that Andrea 330 has set your pole position lap time. I think they'll be very happy with taking the front row. Spenny, F1, has achieved second place with a 38.4. Which is certainly good from what I have seen of them. Positive, well, I think you've said it brilliantly there, Tom. Not bad for no TC. For no traction control is what Tom is referring to. Absolutely. Very great run. Beating Druid by almost a 10th. So excellent run there from from the Tier 2 champion. Druid will be starting 4th, and they'll be very happy beating their teammate, the reigning Tier 1 champion of Matthew 7034. I think they'll be very chuffed with that one. But we will run through now the rest of the grid. It is going to be Matthew 7034 in 5th place. Then we have Gabo in the Haas for 6th. Briefing Cow is 7th place in the Red Bull, with DRL Creations in 8th for Williams. Tundra is 9th place in the AlphaTauri, but they will start on the mediums, so they will have a big advantage in the race, especially with the early safety car at a specific points. Kingly Garlic, a wonderful Turk, in 10th. Hurricane is in 11th. Pepski in 12th. Jerka is in 13th. Amakinga 14th. Kiranja's 15th. Basketball Dan in 16th. Kevin Annihilator in 17th, with Thallo, Harvey yet to set a time, and Franic seeming to have disconnected entirely from the lobby, sadly. We'll check to see if they're around. But we'll just check to see if we can find them. Just a moment before we get going, so they do not miss the race start possible. But who are your predictions for the race ring stream? Race ring. There's no such thing as a race ring. There's only Save the Marriage. But who do you think is going to win this race? Stream chat, and anybody in the YouTube comments section below. We're having no predictions, but we are officially going live properly in just 30 seconds. Remember, there is a formation lap, and the top 10 will have to start on the tyres they set their fastest lap with, which is softs, except for Tundra on the mediums. But for everybody down, 11th all the way down to 19th, it could be any tyres they desire for this wonderful race. So, the formation lap is on. As we can see, only 2 of the 10 dots coming on, so let us flick to the correct information. So, as we can see, we don't need a track map, I don't think, for this section. I don't think we need it. So let's scroll down beyond the top 10, because we know what they're going to do. Oh! Hurricane and Pepski have collided already, and have been disqualified from the formation lap, as they are both on the soft tyres. Jerka opting for the mediums, Armakinga for mediums as well, Kiranjis mediums, Basketball Dan going for the soft tyres, with Kevin Annihilator, one of the stream's predictions winners, in 17th on the mediums, with Thallo, Harvey and Franic, who did manage to join back in time on the mediums, but they could be in AI mode, and I will actually use... Are they actually there? I think they are there. So Franic just made it in the nick of time. This could be the comeback of the season, that's all I'm saying. Interesting from Norton. Positive first, Matthew second, Andrea third. Good calls there, dude. Good calls. So we're about to turn all the HUD off to signal the start of the race. Any final questions from any of you here in our wonderful stream chat? Thank you so much to all 16 of you who are live in this moment in time. We are about 1 hour into the stream nearly, as we're about to start the Azerbaijan Tier 1 Grand Prix for Hyper Tier Racing. Remember, our point system is position based, so it means every position will score at least 1 point, provided the car finishes the entirety of the race. Armour on the podium. That's a very good call there, Alex. Certainly possible. We know that they've got the pace being the Tier 2 Vice Champion. We will join on board with the car in 19th, that being Solo Harvey, or Harvey, as we should refer to them as. And then we'll be ready to start the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. As they are weaving their tyres, nice and hot, trying to get temperature into those mediums. It's going to be very hard, but as we can see, I think they've done this with them being in about the 90-degree-ish mark. As the cars now line up for what will be, I'm sure, an incredible Azerbaijan Grand Prix. It's never boring at Baku, let's be honest, especially with the wider cars, ironically, created good racing at this one venue specifically. You wouldn't have thought it, but they do. So, we're just going to wait for Harvey to line up on the grid with their medium tyres, as the grid are generally fairly split between the mediums and the soft tyre strategies. However, oh, one of the McLarens has jumped the start. Oh, Franek has jumped the start entirely. Oh, right, so, yeah, they've jumped the start, so, oh dear, I think this lobby might be a bit glitched. If and Franek has taken an excellent lead in this Grand Prix here. Oh, he did not get to do his formation lap. I get it now. So the game is waiting for him to move to do the race. Right, okay. So bear with us as Franek, you know, his AI is doing an excellent job at leading the Grand Prix here. I said the comeback has happened, and it's happened. You know, he's won the race. I mean, what can I say? He's taken the lead. I mean, that's the greatest comeback I've ever seen in the whole of HTR history. Oh, there he is. He's back. We're probably going to start now in just a few moments, as we're waiting upon Basketball Dan's internet to connect it to the rest of us. We are ready to go for the Baku Grand Prix. Oh, jeepers, apologies for all these technical difficulties. Technology is great when it works and terrible when it does not work. That is all I can say. Oh, we are ready to go. We're live. We're ready. The 10 dots have gone out and we're ready to race at Baku. Andrea with a great start. What about Spenny? Are they going to keep it clean? Yes, there's contact. The Gabo has been sent round in the Haas. Oh, there's a bit of a ping-pong effect. We'll check it out in a moment. But Andrea leads this Grand Prix from Spenny and then Matthew, who gets a bit of too much throttle down on that exit. These three are fighting. We're going to jump on board with Positive. We've got a great camera angle of all this action. Let's see what happens between these three. They stay in single file. Wise tactics from the three in front, as Druid makes an excellent move on Jerker. Not much Jerker could do there, and he needs to get past him as they're both fighting on the soft tyres, which is the same strategy call. Meanwhile, Franek has already started the comeback charge. Ooh! Pushed Dallo a little bit wide there. Could be a bit of contact. No, Franek maybe a bit eager under the collar, wanted to get past. Bear in mind, he is on the soft tyres, but he's already cleared 3 cars. And now he's taking it. Oh, no way is he going to get past Dallo in the castle section. No way. No, I was about to say. The pit stop strategy is predicted to be of 2 stops, either soft, medium, medium, or medium, medium hards. But Gabo has seemed to have taken contact there. Oh no, they are okay actually. They are fine. Everybody's okay as it stands. As Positive has dropped down to 9th, it seems. As Kingly Garlic and Pepsi have taken advantage. Is there some kind of damage to the Mercedes? No. Oh, there is! Oh, Positive has lost their front wing end plate. Oh, that's going to absolutely gut them dry. They'll probably have to pit, knowing how high downforce of a circuit Baku is. He's cutting it very fine there. Letting his teammate through before Franek is a very good strategy by the team principal, as he will be making a pit stop. We'll see what tyres he goes on to now, as Franek unintentionally blocks Kirangis from getting past, as a couple of drivers pit. So Kingly Garlic took damage, Harvey's taken damage, I think. Yes, so Garlic, Harvey, Druid, Positive and Gabo were all involved in that, so I'm sure the stewards will be very preoccupied this evening after the race is done. That is for certain. But for now, Spenny is on, and we've got Matthew in 3rd, but the front 3 are still as they were. It is about, well, the top 5 are only covered, actually top 6 are only covered by 5 seconds, so this is still going to be a very close and exciting race at the front. Meanwhile, Franek is on the comeback charge. Next up is Thallo on his ticklers. These two have kind of cut their way through the order together, but Thallo is on those medium tyres. Franek will just want to get past him right away, because he knows those medium tyres are going to slow him down. In those softs on the McLaren, he's pushing the Mercedes all the way to the inside, but backs off for the castle section. A wise move, and Thallo has clipped the castle section. Did he? I don't think he gave frantic any damage, but that is going to compromise Thallo big time, and that is the psychological win the McLaren desperately needs. He's not even putting on the ERS. Going to go around the outside. What a brave move this is from our Tier 1. Third place driver last season, but a solid move to get himself into 12th place there of this Azerbaijan Grand Prix. But meanwhile, we're having a fight at the front here as Spenny F1 is about to dart into the pit lane. That's an interesting call. Pitting on lap 2, eh? Something tells me they've had damage, because I don't think they would make a conscious decision to pit on lap number 2. That I do not understand. But listen, I'm not the Tier 1 driver around here. Good luck to you, Spenny. So. However, Andrea is leading this race from Matthew now, and then it's a bit of a gap to Creations, who was having a good scrap with Tundra. Again, Tundra needs to sit patient, you know. He knows those softs will go off eventually, and that is when he can start catching up to the likes of Matthew and Andrea specifically. Moving Cow is in 5th on those softs, with Hurricane in 6th a little further back. As Basketball Dan has sadly gone into AI mode, but they're actually doing pretty well, being in 8th place. Meanwhile, Harvey is having a good old scrap with Kingly Garlic, and it seems to me that the Ferrari is holding off the Haas for now, both powered by the same power unit of the Ferrari, though if this was real life F1, that Ferrari would have a few boosts it would have a double battery store inside of it. So, yeah, but of course it is only a video game, so it does not have that included, and Kingly Garlic lucky there if they did not get a corner cutting warning. Look, you can see everybody here is really taking the maximum levities of that corner, but Andrea is in for Matthew. There's a yellow flag in sector 3. Oh, it's Basketball Dan. Oh, he spun right round. I'm not sure if the Alpine's taking damage, but that's going to be... No, it's not. It's Hurricane on the soft tyres. Oh, that's going to be absolutely soul-crushing for the Alpine, who was doing so well and now has to come in and make a pit stop. I wonder what happened there that caused that incident. The stewards will be heavily investigating into that one if it was a collision between multiple drivers, but that is going to elevate everybody up at least one position. Harvey setting the fastest lap time on mediums, incredibly enough, with a 42.0. We're now going to just keep on watching this fight for the lead unless if something else happens. We can now spot, as you can all see, the fight for third, which is only separated by a couple of tenths here. Tundra in third on the medium tyres, doing an excellent job at being so competitive on the slower tyre. Bots Creations is sitting behind and setting relatively good pace to be able to keep up, but that Williams is certainly better down the straight, as demonstrated by being able to pick up points in Monza, a very high-speed orientated circuit. But let's see what happens, as Tundra will be probably looking to break that DRS cycle, but he just has to keep driving forwards and don't even think about Creations behind. And then when those softs start to go off, that'll be his chance to pull away from the Williams driver. But these two are creating a bit of a slipstream effect, as at the front it's getting very close. Zama King getting a great move done on Basketball down there. Excellent stuff. Excellent stuff. Meanwhile, the fight for the front could see a change in the lead. Let's just keep our eyes peeled. These two are getting closer and closer and closer, lap by lap, as Spenny, who just went and set the fastest lap of the race, has overtaken Kiran just there for 11th place. Basketball Dan on the soft tyres has got past Army King, and once again incredible stuff to be overtaking the Tier 1 Vice Champion of last season. Let us see how these two do. The gap is only 7/10, which is a bit longer. It's fair to say Matthew can close up within the first 2 sectors, but I think Andrea has it nailed in the third. If Matthew misses the DRS detection zone now, he is basically stuffed, and he's getting very close to being dropped completely and then consumed by the sun. Oh, it's Andrea spun! Oh, the McLaren is spinning and spinning, getting a bit too eager, doing exactly what Basketball Dan did, and that is the McLaren out to the lead of this race, and Matthew 7034 will be licking his lips. And thus, Matthew 7034 is into the lead of this Grand Prix by a good, comfortable margin over Tundra, but Tundra knows to keep it clean and keep it calm, and know that mistakes will crop about from plenty of drivers. I do not know. Alex F1, your title is down to you. I mean, your title on stream is Alex underscore F1 underscore I. So that is your official title, it seems. However, this is going to be a great haul for both Williams and AlphaTauri in the epic fight at the top 2, as Creations and Pepsi are 4th, whilst Tundra and Jerka are 2nd and 5th, which is excellent to see. My boys doing so well, and knowing they just got to keep it calm now, and this is going to be a very long race. However, Jerka will probably want to try and get a move done on the start-finish straight here. Well, yes, I mean, you know, if he stays runner-up, then yeah, then that's how it would be as it stands. But now Jerka on the soft tyres will be very keen to make a move on Pepsi, but this is surely going to be the best chance now, as Pepsi is not deploying any ERS, interestingly choosing to save it, as it's been a yellow flag behind, and it seems to be Franek. Franek has been caught in some accident, sadly, but we're going to watch this overtake now, as Pepsi is not using any of that ERS. Surely this has got to be the move for place here in this Grand Prix between Jerka and Pepsi's. Creations has come into the pits after lap number 5, and without needing that much effort, Jerka just sailed past Pepsi. But this is part of the plan, you know, and now Jerka has to catch up to his teammate, who has taken 6/10 out of Matthew 7034. Spenny F1 doing a great job here to get themselves up into 5th place. We can get into Kerenches in 7th, Kim to 8th. Interestingly, Andrea going on the hards. Bold strategy. For their sake, I hope this works. I genuinely hope this works. As Basketball Dan will come out now behind Andrea. They're going to go side by side out to the pit lane. Those are going to be slow. I think Andrea may have hit the wall, but it's still going to be P12 as these two are fighting neck and tail out of the pit lane. Those fresh mediums are going to be way grippier than the hards, and there was nothing Andrea could do as Basketball Dan shoots themselves up into 12th place. Around the hoop, you could say. Garlic getting a bit wide there, as all Franek, after having a little bit of a spinala or taken out, one or two, we do not know, seeking to get past the Luchador and the Turk of Gabo and King the Garlic in the Haas duo. But now that gap for the lead has come down as those soft tyres are starting to degrade. But Matthew 7034 is using his ERS to defend from Tundra, so it's wise not to drain it all now, and he has got absolutely loads. He's just burning through that battery. My goodness me. There's not going to be any left as he darts into the pit lane. Tundra takes the lead as those softs last about 5 to 7 laps. Jerka should probably stick it out a little bit longer to at least defend from the likes of Matthew. Spenny makes a great move on Peppers coming to the pits, but meanwhile, can he defend from Armakinger, the vice champion of Tier 1 as it stands, well, of the previous season? And he does successfully for now. Both are on mediums, but Spenny's tyres are 3 laps younger, and this strategy call of pitting on lap 2, as crazy as I thought it was, is actually working. Fair play, Spenny, son. You're doing an incredible job, if I do say so myself, but that ERS is next to non-existent. So, good advice is that they've not got much juice to fight with, you know, not that much at all. Is Spenny F1. Whereas Armakinger and Jerka have plenty. Kerenches doing 5th. Kevin Annihilator, very good job to be up in 6th. Nice and consistent here. Excellent stuff to see. Matthew 7034 now needs to cut his way through his opposition to get back to Jerker, with the gap being about 17 seconds between himself and Tundra. Creations in 8th and Harvey in 9th, with probably the leader coming out in 9th place there, if they were to make a pit stop now. As Franek goes for a move around the inside, he does a switcheroo! He's pulled the Uno reverse card on Kingly Garlic, and the Garlic has nothing to say to that. All I say is that's contender for overtaking the race. Surely that was excellent stuff there by Franek. However, Spenny has tried to save all their ERS up for this precise moment, but they don't have that much left. As Jerker runs a bit wide. Oh! Oh, Spenny went into the back of Jerker there, but it's okay. It is okay. Maybe those softs need to come into the pit lane now. Who knows? Maybe they've got to come in now before it's too late. But interestingly, sorry, mediums. What am I saying? They're not soft tyres. As Jerker goes around the inside to defend, but Spenny's fresher softs are just clearly better. It's actually probably wiser to just not do anything. As interestingly, Matthew, Kevin and Arlita are still scrapping it out here, but Kevin and Matthew have a great relationship, knowing how to keep each other fair on combat. Meaning Matthew has successfully and cleanly got past, but now he's an Aston Martin sandwich. What can the Astons do to make his life a little bit harder if they can? If they want to win the combined constructors, which they're in a good position to do, surely they'd want to slow down the Alfa Romeo as a team as much as possible. But to remember, with Spenny taking that corner very wide there, but hardly having any ERS going for a really aggressive run through this race. I was going to say, how did he do that? As Spenny has left the session! Oh, Spenny is disconnected. He was doing such a great performance, and his internet has just died on him. Oh, it's painful to see as Armour Kinga has made the move. He has checkmated Jerker, it seems, and now he will be surely looking his sights onto Spenny, who will basically receive a bit of a, not an official time penalty, but an indirect one for entering into AI mode, which is great news for the race leader, the number 95, Jerker, his teammate Tundra in the Alpha Tauri indeed. However, Matthew 7034 is trying to get past down the long back straight as Jerker makes the pit stop, so he'll gain one position. Can he make it two? Yes, he does. Successfully getting past Rangis as Kevin cannot quite keep up, as he has to now try and defend from DRL Creations, but that is Matthew into 4th place and 16 seconds off. The gap has come down by about 4 tenths, since the start. Pepski makes a move on Basketball Dan, and meanwhile, oh, this is because they're all pitting, but Creations gets the move on Kevin and Alita. Are those mediums starting to drop? Maybe. Is this the defensive part of the strategy for Kevin and Alita? As there's a yellow flag, I'm not sure what has gone on there, but it seems to be all 20 cars still running. Do you know what? Fair play to all these drivers, because we have 20 cars still in this race, and we're on lap 10. Absolutely mental. I wouldn't have thought this would be the case. So, fair play to all the boys here. I mean, they are our most premium racers, so I'm not sure what I was expecting. But anyway, as Matthew makes the move on Spenny's Ghost AI, and the charge is on. As there's a yellow flag, there's a McLaren out, I think, and it's Andrea on the hards. Oh, maybe misjudged their braking point, but they are okay. No, I don't think there'll be any cause for a safety car since they did get back onto the track really safely. So, Tundra leads by an incredible 10 seconds with Armour Kinga. The gap being 15 seconds is another yellow flag. Franek gets retired! We just said how great it was, but a car is sadly retired. There's a safety car out! Dan has got a 3-second time penalty. Surely, yep, Armour Kinga and Matthew will have to take this opportunity. Unlucky there for Tundra. Spenny, as AI comes in. Kirangis is coming in. Okay, Harvey's in. Druid is going to come in. Pepski's going to stay out. And Basketball Dan is going to come in. Positive is going to come in as well. Gabbo coming in. Cows in. Thalos in. Jerker Positive got a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Good stuff there for Jerker to not get the pass there. Hurricane in 70, Kingly Garlic 18. So Tundra leads, but if he can get this round quick enough, if the other guys are they have to obey Delta, then Tundra could get a pit stop if he does not mind losing the lead specifically, which may be the strategy. Interestingly, looking at the cars who have pitted, Harvey's gone onto the hards, Matthew's gone onto the mediums, but the likes of Armour, Spenny and Kieran just have gone onto the softs. So it really is a 50-50 call here as to what to do around Baku. If it was me, if we didn't have the multiple tyre rule, I'd say go on to another set of mediums, but you can't. So it would have to be coming in for a set of softs, unless if you want to try something a bit daring and go to the end of the race, which would require then a nice set of hards. But even if the leader was to pit now, they would still be able to come out in front. So definitely they should make a pit stop if they want to onto a set of soft tyres. But we'll see what happens now. Creations, if that's the case, will take the lead of this Grand Prix. Interestingly, Tundra's going to come in. So, Creations has the lifetime opportunity here to take the lead of this Grand Prix. We'll see what the Williams driver can do this race. A temporary one, as it's usually Sam W11, who would occupy the seat as Tundra is coming in. Are they going to get out in front? It's going to be massive type, but no, Creations even comes in. Kevin Annihilator comes in. So yes, Tundra has successfully maintained the lead of this Grand Prix, and the AlphaTauri will be leading this race with Creations coming in now. So we'll see what the likes of Pepsi can do. Can Pepsi help his teammate out? Go as slow as possible to ensure that they are in front. Sadly, is it going to work? Yes, it is. Great teamwork by Williams there to ensure that Creations gets second, and Pepsi being a good team player here and getting his teammate over the line. Excellent stuff. Stuff you love to see, which means Matthew is in fourth. Armour King in fifth, but he will have to make a pit stop guaranteed as Harvey's got a 5-second time penalty for colliding with Kevin. What has gone on there, I wonder? I'm sure the stewards will have a look at that, but Kieran just in eighth with Drew 9th. Alex, to answer your question of what is the strategy, you can take a look at this race. I mean, you're already here. If you want to find out what the strategy is, you can just watch this one. But the game is recommending a soft, medium, medium, so, or a medium, soft, medium. Basically, 2 mediums, 1 soft, and a partridge in a pear tree. That's the strategy, I think, for this race. So, Jeepers creepers. Right, Twitch chat. If you'd like to ask any questions, then please do so whilst we're under safety car conditions. As you can see, as we are seeing the beautiful Mercedes take the lead of Bernard Mylander. It is time for you all, if you want, to ask your questions. Can we play Among Us after? Well, listen, you're allowed to play whatever games you like, whenever you want, wherever you want. So, you could even multitask if you wanted to, Alex, but it would make the stream chat a little bit more dead. Excess Games, who's winning in the championship and what place is Kevin? Good question, Excess Games. I will tell you that now. Currently, in the championship, it is TTM Tundra. The car you're seeing at the front of the field now in the AlphaTauri is leading the standings with, if I find the standing screen, Positive only being 4 points behind in second place, and Matthew 7034 in fifth, with Kevin Annihilator in 8th place behind their teammate on 54 points. Not a bad campaign. I think they can be certainly happy about it. I think they were, certainly expecting about this kind of pace, so I think they could be satisfied with where they are in 8th place, helping Aston Martin Cognizant F1 team to get in the what's it called, bonus room. Well, Alex, as you already know, you do not need myself to be there. You can, in the lounge, just set up games whenever you want. Just whoever is hosting the match, just to make sure that they take a 15-second video from when the winner of the Among Us match has been declared to the final meeting to eject someone. That's all they need to do for each game, for the event to be counted towards the Among Us trophy. So, I know, it sounds like a sus proposition, but that is what you have to do. But with the safety car now having most of the cars in the queue, I think we're going to be now going back in some racing, as Hurricane has received a penalty for colliding with Briefing Cow, sadly. And before you all ask, I'll show you the penalty graphics now. We've got Harvey on 5 seconds, Kevin Annihilator on 5, Basketball Dan on 3, Positive 5, Briefing Cow 5, and Hurricane 5. And the safety car is coming in this lap, so those drivers who do have penalties cannot unserve them. It is down to Tundra as to when they wish to press go and release the field from the safety car's grasp as soon as it comes in. Tundra is slowing them down, doing an excellent job trying to warm up the tyres nice and efficiently here. Let's see what the Williams can do of Creations Pepsi. Remember, Creations doesn't need to pit, whereas Tundra does, so he has to get a bit of a wiggle on if he is to win this race. But with that said, he's taking his time, which is a good idea. And now he's going to go. He's done all the weaving necessary, and he's going to put all the ERS down with Creations not doing it anymore with ERS. But is he going to go for a move straight away? No, he knows that this race will not be won now, as Matthew 7034 darts past the Williams shield there of Pepsi Man. And now it's the Ferraris trying to hunt down that Williams on those 5-lap old mediums. That's going to be a bit of a costly strategy, as we will see. But unfortunately, looks like Breathing Cow was involved in some kind of accident, as they are dropped down to 19th place in this race. So that is how that is all going down, with the AlphaTauri in the lead from the Williams in second place, and the Alfa Romeo in third, who's hot on the heels, I should say. Indeed, a dancing Alfa Romeo indeed. What can I say? You've got to have an odd for doodles, I'm having to once in a while. With Matthew in third, Pepsi in fourth, Arbicking your fifth, and Harvey in sixth. On the hards, to be fair, so fair play. They will not need to pit again. Druid in seventh, right on the heels actually of Harvey, so we'll see how this one unfolds. But we'll start off with the battle for the lead. Tundra doing an excellent job to break that 1 second barrier. But Matthew's only got 1 lap all the tyres. I think Kirangis has been involved in some contact. Briefing Cow's retired from the session. A safety car again has been deployed. And all the drivers who were getting so hyped up have now got to recompose and reset. Thank you all so much to every single one of you 13 people for tuning into this race. But yes, we've got plenty of dancing AlphaTauris in store. As interestingly, Tundra, I think he hit the wall. So he'll have to change his front wing. He did hit the pit entry. That's going to cost him a bit of time there for the AlphaTauri. Will he get his wing changed? Oh no, it's actually fine. Sorry, I was going crazy. But that is a clever strategy to come in now, make a pit stop, go back to the mediums. Will mean he will not have to do anything in this race, as Andrea does get past the AlphaTauri in the 9th there. So, anyone else pitting? Yes, Armor King is pitting. Kingly Garlic is pitting. Positive. So Armor King is on the soft. Positive is on the softs. Hurricane. Not sure what they're doing. They could be getting a front wing change. Spenny has gone to the mediums. Kingly Garlic to the softs. Very bold call, but to be fair, it is only 11 laps to the end. Kirangis going to the softs, along with Thallo and Kevin Annihilator. Now, if you're a driver who needs to serve a penalty, like Harvey, Dan, or Garlic, surely you will want to pit now and try and minimise the time from the penalty. As Matthew's AI has sadly disconnected, that means he's going to fall a little bit like a rock, unless if he can get back in time. to the start of this race, which he should be able to do in fairness. I think, God, it'll at least be another lap, this safety car. Before he comes to the pits, oh, Jerk getting a little bit too close, a bit too racy with the harsh. There's a huge shunt behind. I think Jerk could definitely just tame himself there under the safety car. I don't know what was going on there. It could be Gabbo's dodgy internet, just bear that in mind, but I'm not too sure from what I saw. Right, will the likes of Harvey make a pit stop? We'll see. Pepski trying to see if he can get a move past, and he has! Oh, he has to give it back to Matthew. But Pepski trying to create a Williams shield before Matthew returns. So let's see what these drivers can do. What about Harvey? Is he going to get rid of that 5-second penalty? No, he stays out. Basketball Dan stays out. What about Kinley Garlic? Stays out. And Kevin? We'll see as Hurricane is coming into the pits, so he will be surely looking to go into softs for 10 laps, along with Thallow. Might have been some contact there, and they might have had, as Matthew has re-overtaken Pepski there, as he has successfully returned in time for second place. What is my opinion on Extreme E? Whilst I have not seen any Extreme E races, I think it's definitely a good thing, you know, to raise awareness about the rubbish that motorsport and cars generally do for the planet, and to really highlight it all is a fantastic cause. And whilst I've not seen the racing, I don't know how good it is to actually race, because that is a different story. The idea by Alejandro Ahag is a fantastic one, so that is my thoughts on the Extreme E Championship, and wish it nothing but the best of success going forward. Interestingly, Harvey's lost their front wing, so they're going to need to pit again to get rid of the to restore their damage, as the safety car is coming in this lap. Now, what will the field do? More specifically, Creations. He is taking it very gingerly here, making a nice car park. I mean, listen, if this was a car park, I think we'd have to give this a solid 9 out of 10 for an accurate representation of Christmas Day shopping. Sorry, Christmas Eve shopping. Look at this. This is a very accurate car park, but Matthew is very keen. These two do know each other quite well, so they'll be able to know whatever mind tricks wanders over the other. And now goes Creations. He's released the field. Matthew's timed it, but his teammate is not in Pepski, and he's now susceptible to Basketball Dan and Druid. But let's check out to the front. Is it going to be a fight? No, they're not deploying ERS yet, which is a smart strategy by both of them. There's Druid pits Pepski going a bit wide there on those 8-lap medium tyres. Play. It's a bit of a dive around to the left of this corner, but it is no avail. I mean, look how similar paint colour-wise the Williams and Alpine are. But anyway, Gabbo fighting up in 5th, Jerker in 6th place. Just need to bear in mind that Gabbo's internet is a bit dodgy. This is the first time I've watched this, and it's strange seeing the Williams do well. Excess Games, do you know what? It is very weird to see, you know, a Williams, an Alfa Romeo, and a Williams and an Alpine in the top 4. But that is the power of when putting a ballast setting and equalising all the cars. It's fantastic. That's why we are Hyper-Tier Racing, among many other things. It's because we offer unique racing and give all teams a chance to shine, regardless of their real-life success talent. So, but I hope you stick around, Excess, because it is a wonderful championship, and you can always join us by going down to our links section underneath the stream and joining our Discord server to get the latest updates upon HTR activities. We do have our Tier 2 races tomorrow for our less expenses. Gabo has made a move on Jerker. Clearly maybe getting a bit, keen to get past. I mean, I don't blame him for being on the hard tyres. And oh, Basketball Dan spun! Whoa! As Basketball Dan sadly retires from the race. There's going to be another safety car! Oh, the madness just keeps on happening. As Jerker is opting to pit again. Thankfully doesn't come into the walls. That's a good start. But yes, he'll be pitting again. So, another safety car. 3 in the space of what? 5-6 laps? Absolute madness. Surely, for everybody who pits now, surely Pepski's going to have to do this pit stop now. Surely. Unless if he's playing defence role, then he has to make a pit stop now. Surely. To go on to those soft tyres to gain maximum advantage. I'm surprised Gabo's still on the hards, is the honest truth. As well, given the safety car. The Tundra's in 3rd, then we've got Armakinga. 5th, then Armakinga in 6th. The Aston Martins at 7th and 8th, which is a bit of a surprise to see them do well. Ah, so you're quite familiar with how the league works then, excellent games. Well, listen, you're not doing that bad being in position 8th now, come on. Come on, Chief, that is a very respectable result, I'd say. And you're beating your son, so that's got to be a bit of bonus points, am I right? So, alas. Will the front runners pit? I could see Pepski and Gabo pulling the trigger, but will the likes of Matthew and Creations come in? Let's see what they do, because the softs could go to the end, but they have got an important position to fight for, and they would drop down to 10th place, so let's see what they do. Creations is gonna stay out. Matthew is gonna stay out, but Pepski's coming in. Gabo is going to stay out though. Interesting call there by the Haas driver to stay out against all the circumstances. And now Pepski is coming out of the pits, but this time behind Andrea. Actually, Excess Games, you could have been part of the, what's it called, but yeah, never mind, you could have been grabbing a potential Monopoly trophy on your hands, but weren't part of the lounge, so that's totally understandable though. However, we have got ourselves a very fun end to the season on our hands. Especially with how close this title fight is. Remember, the top 2 teams in HTR Tier 1 Constructors are only separated by 2 points. Absolutely mental as to how good both teams are operating. We will be having a 5-lap dash to the finish line. That is surely going to be some highly entertaining stuff right here. Oh, don't you worry, Alex. I mean, Tier 2 is always just as wonderful as Tier 1 is. However, I think... Have I put myself down to attend? Actually, I will not be able to attend due to personal life matters demanding my attention. So, it is what it is, sadly. But, yes, I will be out for the Azerbaijan GP. But good luck to everybody in Tier 2 tomorrow at 7 PM, where you could be joined by Positive and Kevin Annihilator on commentary team for the wonderfully wacky second division of hyper tier racing that really injects the hyperactivity into the racing. As Gabbo has joined properly, so they obviously disconnected and are back in the lobby. But is the safety car going in? Yes, it is the answer to that question. So now, how will the Lavazza-powered car handle against Matthew on those 8-lap mediums? Tundra in third on 4-lap mediums. Yes, I know they're not the softs, but those softs are going to degrade much quicker, and Spenny has thankfully rejoined as well. So all 17 races left are still here. As Jerk has dropped a couple positions, but now Creations has created the window to go. Done a bit of a mind dummy, but it has not fooled Matthew, as Druid's got a 5-second penalty for colliding into Thallo, it seems. We'll have a check on that in the steward's room, I'm sure. But alas, it's going to be a top 3 that will stay the same, with Armaginga and Kiranchis. Jerk has picked up a 5-second time penalty for ignoring the yellow flags. Oh dear, that's going to be a bit of a disappointing one for them, but they could just get it rescinded if all else fails. The gap is so small at this stage. Oh, there's a yellow flag behind. I think it's a Red Bull. It is! Spenny's gone round! Oh, what a shame. Their day's gone from bad to worse. And now they will have to... They've retired from the session on track. That's something the administrators will not appreciate. But there we are. They are out of this Grand Prix. There will not be a safety car, since it is too soon from the previous one. But alas, Creations is still leading the Azerbaijan Grand Prix for Tier 1 of Hyper Tier Racing. We are just got about 4.5 laps to go now, and thank you so much to all 13 of you who are still here in attendance of this wonderful, magnificent race as it is unfolding live. We'll see how the top, I would even say top 5 can handle. If Kiranchis and Armaking can get a move on, bear in mind those softs are 5 laps old, they could be within a genuine shout of some excellent points today. With that said now, here come the main 3 charging down this beautiful camera angle as we're on board with the AlphaTauri. But now switching over to the Alfa Romeo, which all 3 of them share this epic camera angle. They are following in the slipstream. We can see that it's like a blooming game of Snake on the Nokia, as it's that intense and that close. What's Matthew going to do? He's going to go to the outside. Tundra's going to go to the end. This is not going to end well, but thankfully these 3 are very smart. But Matthew's trying to go around. Oh, and a bit of contact maybe. Maybe a bit of front wing damage possibly. We'll have a check now. No, both cars are fine. He's going to go around the outside. A very risky move. It doesn't quite work. They're very keen. If I was the 3rd place man, I'd just sit there and wait. But no, he's going to go for it regardless. He's not going to take 1. He's going to try and take 2 of them. He's going to push the Williams to the outside. Be careful, son. There's a lot of points on the line. But these 3 are fighting. Creations goes into Matthew. He's locked up. Touches Tundra, but just about keeps it in a straight line. And Armor King has taken 3rd. Whoa, ho, ho. I'm sure Creations is creating a little bit of trouble for them in the steward's room, I think, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. There's a yellow flag in sector 2. I'm not sure what that's for. Oh, is that Hurricane? Oh, it's Thallo. Oh, their day is just getting even worse. Oh, what a shame. As Matthew has taken some damage and has lost out big time. So Tundra just needs to be mindful the fact that Creations does have a lot of ERS to spare, and bearing in mind that Creations was a bit aggressive here, so there's just basically needing to do a bit of mind games if I was in, but Armor King has got a brilliant view of all this carnage. Let's see how it all unfolds. There's a yellow flag, sector 3. Positive's retired! Oh, he was doing so well with no traction control, and another safety car! Another safety car! Oh, goodness me. Baku is on madness. Positive will be feeling very negative now. And not having that opportunity. But that said, it's courageous. I think everybody's going to stay out, surely. Actually, no, Matthew's coming in, which is a good move considering the damage they have. Oh, commiserations positive if you're watching. You are doing so well as well. I feel genuinely horrible knowing you've retired from this Grand Prix. However, it's only going to last 2 laps or 1 lap, surely. There's no way we're going to finish under the safety car. The game does not allow that, from what I understand anyway. Gabo, incredibly, Gabo's managing to keep up on 11 lap hards. Fair play to the Mexican for doing that. That is a genuinely very impressive strategy there. As we've got 17 of you all in attendance, thank you so much for joining with me, Faroodle, on this amazing, incredible Grand Prix. But this is going to get extremely intense now to the checkered flag. So, it is not a 5-lap dash anymore, it is a 2-lap dash, and this will be the final safety car of the race. Because, you know, the game does not like having safety cars on the final lap, in accordance with the real-life rules. So, as I'm sure you're all very familiar with that one. Unlucky positive. Listen, dude, you did a very good job. I think let's all give some clapping emojis in the stream chat for positive over here. We're managing to complete 90% of the race without traction control in Tier 1. Let's give it a big clap emojis in the chat, everyone, for how great that was. Oh, were they now? Oh, jeepers. I mean, hey, at least the advantage now is those tyres would have been great for drifting afterwards. Perhaps in a certain other video game where drifting is a bit more encouraged than this one. Remember, everybody in the Twitch chat, we're to spread Formula love and not Formula hate. As Matthew has got a 5-second time penalty for colliding with Thallow, so their race has sadly been trashed into the bin. But now, the safety car will come in. It is a matter of fact now, because everybody's all bunched up together, and we have only got a few rounds left. However, safety car is coming in this lap. And now this should be a very interesting finale to this race. Creations in the lead on 11 lap mediums. Tundra with 8 lap mediums in second. Amberkinger in third. along with Kerengis in 4th on 8 lap softs, with Andrea incredibly coming back from 2 spinalas and getting the 5th. As now Creations is gone. Drew's got a 5-second time penalty. He's absolutely beaten Tundra off the line, as Tundra is trying his best to not allow Armakinga to get the slipstream, which is so crucial. Remember, Creations not even using any ERS here, so it's so important to save if you can. The juice, my dude. My dudes everywhere. As now, Kerengis is going for a move on the Ferrari, who goes wide, and Kerengis has spun! Oh, that was going to be such good points for the Aston Martin team. And they have been sent spinning and spinning and spinning down to 15th. Oh, that's going to be some heartache in the Aston Martin camp. Certainly, if you're powered by a Mercedes engine. However, now, it's back to the front 2 at the moment, as Andrea is on a charge again. Those softs are, I wouldn't say they're dead, given all the safety car stuff, but they have only got 1 or 2 laps to go, as both are fighting it very hard here. Andrea even taking it so close to the point of the Spinala territory, trying to get the switcheroo, like what his teammate did earlier in the race, but unfortunately, to no avail. Again, DRS is not going to be a factor in this race, so I would say don't even bother to use Uriel. So if I was second, I'd just basically try and mind nuke them into letting the win go. But Armakinga is boosting to try and catch up, but there is quite a bit of a gap, as Andrea is determined to get a 3rd place. It'll be an incredible drive. There's a yellow flag behind. I think it's a Haas-off. It is! Oh, Kingsley Garlick's gone into the wall. Oh, what a massive shame for the Haas there. He did so well earlier on, but at least Gabo is flying the flag. To be fair, on 13 lap old hards, I'm very impressed. They have been stubborn and it's worked out nicely, but we're on to the final lap. The front 2 are charging it down to the line now. They're going to give it everything they've got, but bearing in mind there are 3 start-finish straights technically left to go. But Tundra is to the outside, Creations is to the in. How is this going to go down? Is he going to back off? No, he's not. He's going to fight this one to the bitter end. Creations has been sent spinning. Oh, he had the inside and was the shorter car, but he got clipped on the rear, and oh, that's just racing. But now he has to focus, because there's a hungry Andrea chasing him down on 7 lap old softs compared to Armakinga, who's on the 10 soft. Meanwhile, I wonder if he'll swap with Harvey. Bearing in mind, see if he can attack Andrea. Bearing in mind the penalties he has. Gabo, fair play, lad, for doing this on 14 lap hards when everyone else has been sticking it on their softs. Fair play. I gotta say, driver of the day, I have to say, from my opinion. Fair play to Gabo. There's a yellow flag. Oh, it's an Alfa Romeo. It's Druid. Just caps off a really pooey day for and Kingsley Garlick. So I wonder if they're involved in something together. But now he's just got a couple of corners to negotiate. Using every shreddy of that ERS left. He's just like, I want this to be done with, and I do not blame him in the slightest. But that gap is very good. He can take this a little bit more chilled out. Not to get turned off or anything concentration-wise, but he can certainly relax it a tad as he gently nurses it around the final corner. He's going to turn on the ERS, turn it off through the corners, nice and gently now. And he's just got one more corner to negotiate. But it's another win for the AlphaTauri Honda Racing Team, as TTM Tundra, after seeing off the competition, making a great strategy call, and takes the win of the Tier 1 Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Andrea in 2nd, crashing on the line, but still being in the race. Armakinga 3rd, Harvey in 4th. Gabo, hold on, so because of all the penalties, Pepski's in 4th, Creations in 5th. Great recovery from Williams, all things considered. Thallo in 6th, flying the flag high from Mercedes, with Harvey in 7th. Kevin Annihilator, not a bad job there. In 8th place with Kerengis in 9th. Gabo, Hurricanes in 10th. The seat is both into Andrea. Gabo in 11th. Jerker in 12th. Matthew in 13th. Kingsley Garlick will take 14th, then Druid 15th place. But Tundra is your winner for the opening for this 4th round of Tier 1 action. We'll see if we can get an interview with a couple of drivers in this race. But we'll let you all enjoy the podium celebrations. So it is TTM Tundra who wins the Azerbaijan Grand Prix from Andrea in second with a great recovery, all things considered. Armikingas in third, Pepski in fourth, Croatians in fifth, Thallo in sixth, Harvey in seventh, Kevin Ollie to eighth, Karangis ninth, Harper Kane 10th, Gabo in 11th, Jerka 12th, Matthew 13th, Kingly Garlic 14th, Druid 15th, Positive, Spenny, Basketball Down, Briefing Cow and Franic have retired. However, we'll see if we can get a possible post-race interview. So, race winner, do not forget to, unmute your audio and connect it to the stream so that we can then engage in, I think, what will be the first ever post-race interview in the whole of HTR history. We'll start with the race winner. But for those of you on YouTube, don't forget you can like, comment, share and subscribe this video, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell to join your squad, and we'll see you on YouTube next time. But stick around for the post-race interviews. Yes, indeed! Indeed, Alex, you did you absolutely got that prediction spot on. I know, Gabba. It sucks, doesn't it, sometimes, but I'm sure the luck of the rub of the green will come to you someday. Oh, fair enough, there's a one. Fair enough, fair enough. Right, with that said, I've been Fadoodle.